Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm going to be doing some more flying of the KingKong 90 GT. There's been a little bit of a gap in the weather. It's not raining. It is very windy though, so let's get to it. I'm going to see if I can find an area on the ground that I can take off from. It is like a swamp out here, so I'm starting off in angle mode. Let's see if I can take off very quickly. There we go. Very quiet model outdoors. Okay, let's check out the punch. That's not bad at all. That's pretty incredible actually. Let's go again. They never look as good on camera as they do in person, these punch out. I have to say that's pretty impressive. Having to keep it in pretty close because it's so tiny. Yeah, that's not bad. Tune seems okay. Able to do line of sight acro. It's a fast little thing. Tune doesn't seem so bad. Might need to lift up the roll and pitch sensitivity a bit. I like my rolls a little bit faster than that for FPV, but wow. Hearing some slight vibrations on full throttle. Hopefully nothing too debilitating for when doing FPV. I mean, it's so fast and not really being affected by the wind. It's pretty windy today. See if we can get a closer look at it. You know, no matter how close I get these things to the camera, they always look smaller because of the wide angle. But yeah, impressed with it, I would say. Very fast, very zippy, very stable. I guess this thing is just so lightweight. Performing more similar to a 3S than a 2S, which is good because we cannot put a 3S on this. Okay, let's come in for a landing and let's go do some FPV. So just as I suspected, it flies very well, FPV. Now there is a little bit of vibration that comes through at the top of the throttle, but it doesn't affect how the copter flies, so I guess that is the props being slightly out of balance. But for the size of this thing, what it can do is just absolutely amazing. And with it being so lightweight, the 2-cell battery is ample to fly this thing outdoors and get a good experience out of it. And despite it having that sleeve dipole antenna, the reception was actually pretty good. We have some amazing technology at the moment, and I think it's just going to get even crazier. So as you can see, I'm able to do normal acro with this, just like I am a 5-inch. Now the tune definitely does need some work, but like I say, all I did was just boosted that D value and it's flying nicely. There's a couple of wobbles here and there, but as I say, it's a very windy day and it's hard to tell sometimes with these tiny micros whether it's the wind causing wobbles or a bad tune, because it doesn't do it all of the time. But yeah, it was flying pretty good. There is some slight noise coming through from the motors, but it's nothing debilitating at all really, and you can barely notice it. And one thing that I like about these tiny brushless models is you can take more risks, because you aren't going to damage anything if you crash on the copter or to property. Look at this, just doing some tumbles here, having a lot of fun with it. Another thing that surprised me was the range. So I'd heard bad things about this receiver, but all I did was just pulled the antenna down so that it was sort of in reach line of sight of the transmitter, and I didn't have any problems with the range at all. I never felt like I was pushing it, as I do a punch out over the tree there. There's plenty of power with this one, and the range is fine. Now, I only have about 120 meters to play with here, and I probably took it out to about 80 meters, and as I say, no sign of dropouts there. Now, it was a very dull day, and I guess the camera is struggling sometimes with the dynamic range, because we have the sun on the horizon and it's coming in and out of the clouds, so very challenging conditions for this camera, but it's handling it. There wasn't any point when I thought, oh, I can't see where I'm going, you know, just a couple of times into the sun where the ground went black. So the other problem, I guess, with this setup is that there's no lost model alarm and there's no voltage buzzer, but like I say, I set those ESCs up to have a beacon on them, and I'll put my original review in the link below, because I went through and set it all up, and it's a nice model. So what I noticed is when the battery started to deplete, I started to lose power. So what I'm doing at the moment is just sort of flying around myself and testing that, and I'm able to have enough power to fly back to myself and do a landing. So there you go. That is my outside line of sight flight and also FPV with the KingKong 90 GT. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.